Hold on now, just hold on. Everybody knows that I am the greatest.
Can you believe it?
I read, I listen to the radio, and I think about things.
I was shot today.
Very superstitious.
We want 'em. We'll do.
Ever.
How you gonna kidnap us if I'm the one driving the car?
If I'm the one holding the gun.
I buy that.
Oh, but Daddy, it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Cat. Girl, you better get on out there and go on that campaign and get on out there.
Yeah, I just lost my wife, cancer, and with her for 15 years. So I was just telling Trey, man, I said it comes to the point for my wife was battling for 8 years. She got diagnosed. So for 8 years, I had to balance creativity with being supported.
What if the funniest actor you never knew existed secretly coached Michael Jordan and Chris Tucker to become the stars they are today?
Before that, I was Chris Tucker's acting coach for Rush Hour 1 and 2.
TK Carter's name might not roll off your tongue like Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor, but here's something that'll make you rethink everything. This man was personally mentored by Richard Pryor himself, turned down Saturday Night Live when Eddie Murphy was leaving, and there's a reason Hollywood tried to erase him from one of the biggest sitcoms of the 90s. But the final secret about what really happened behind the scenes of Space Jam will leave your jaw on the floor. December 15th, 1956.
I'm from New York. I got cousins in Bed-Stuy. You be an actor, you get much respect. So I just put New York, so it just stuck to this day. But I was raised in Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles.
South Central Los Angeles welcomed Thomas Kent Carter. Everyone would come to know him simply as TK.
When they were getting ready to start this whole internet thing, they would come us to the actors and they would ask us to fill out these cards.
Where you wanted to be from.
Where you were born and all that stuff. And I was like, because I never used my real name. My real name is Thomas Kent Carter, but I used TK.
Thomas King. The K is for King.
Kent.
Thomas Kent Carter.
Yeah.
Okay.
At 10 years old, he won a local talent show performing Bill Cosby routines. But TK didn't just memorize jokes. He studied every facial expression, every pause, every reaction.
Well, my first talent show as a comic at age 10, doing all the Bill Cosby stuff. Okay. I was a Cosby cat. I did every monologue on his album.
By age 12, he was performing stand-up. While other kids were doing homework, TK was deconstructing comedy like a science experiment. He graduated high school as a track champion, attended Citrus Junior College, then landed his first professional gig in 1976 on Policewoman.
Started in the year 1976. I got out of high school in 75, 76, and I was on a mission.
Then came the grind. He worked at Disneyland for a year as a ride operator on Pirates of the Caribbean, the only black pirate with a white eye patch, as he'd later recall.
And every one of my jobs I ever had before I got into acting and stand-up was observing people. I worked at Disneyland. I was a ride operator for the Pirates of the Caribbean. I was the only black pirate with a white patch on my eye.
But he wasn't just collecting paychecks. Every job, the liquor store, the supermarket, the service station, became research for his craft. He'd observe people, study their movements, collect material. By 1977, TK was regularly performing at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard, just 19 years old, sharing stages with legends.
We all down at the Comedy Store on Sunset. First time I saw him, it was pretty funny.
That's when Richard Pryor walked in. TK was on stage doing impressions, trying to land a Jaws joke. The audience laughed. He thought he killed it.
And I come off the stage, I say, Rich, how you doing, man? He said, yeah, what's up, little brother? I said, I was funny, huh? He said, you wasn't shit.
Then Pryor pulled him aside. You weren't funny. They weren't laughing with you. They were laughing at you. TK was confused, but they were laughing. Pryor looked him dead in the eyes.
He said, if you want to be funny, little man, he said, start talking about that shit that hurts you that you don't want nobody to know about. Now bring your ass back in and come have a drink. And that's how we became friends.
That moment became TK's North Star. While grinding the comedy circuit, TK started landing steady work. He did warm-ups for Welcome Back, Kotter, Chico and the Man, and Good Times. On Good Times, the producers would ask if anyone in the audience had jokes. TK always had his loaded. Week 1, got noticed. Week 2, better material. Week 3, producers were waiting specifically for him. By week 4, writers were lined up in the back watching this unknown kid destroy. That's when casting directors started circling.
Everybody stood there was clapping. By this time, I look in the back and all these producers and these writers are just, who is it? What the hell?
In 1983, TK landed his first series regular role on Just Our Luck.
Well,
whoever you are, you're making a complete fool of yourself. This guy can't see me. I'm invisible.
Playing a genie named Shabu.
I had the first TV series I had was on ABC.
Which one was that?
Played the Genie show, the Black Genie, Shabu the Genie. Came on
Okay.
before Happy Days.
A black genie on network television in the early 80s, that was unheard of.
Don't you like it? It's a Shabu original. I call it When the Punk Meets the Funk. Heavy on the funk.
The show got canceled. Welcome to Hollywood. But TK didn't wait. In 1980, he'd already landed a role in Neil Simon's Seems Like Old Times with Goldie Hawn and Chevy Chase.
How you gonna kidnap us if I'm the one driving the car?
I'm the one holding the gun.
I buy that.
And Neil Simon, the legendary playwright who never let actors change dialogue, gave TK permission to adjust lines.
And I had the chance to sit in the trailer with Neil Simon while he was typing. And I was probably the only actor that he let change the lines that molded with my character because
Neil Simon himself told him, "You have some of the best comedy timing I've ever seen." But just when things were looking up, TK hit a wall. Hollywood wasn't handing out leading roles to young black actors in the early 80s. Speaking of leading roles, let's talk about what really happened when Eddie Murphy came to Los Angeles to film 48 Hours. TK thought he was going to get that role. Director Walter Hill had worked with him on Southern Comfort. One night in Louisiana, TK got into a bar fight and threw a glass at the bar.
The exact scene Eddie would later perform in 48 Hours.
Walter Hill saw it happen. TK thought, that role is mine.
And he's coming out here to do 48 Hours. And I'm pissed off because I thought that I was going to get 48 hours.
Then Saturday Night Live introduced America to Eddie Murphy, and suddenly there was a new king in town. TK went to set just to meet Eddie. He watched him work. I'm not getting anything, he realized.
Real calm, real cool. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Yeah, love all your shit, man. Yeah, man, you funny, man. What's happening when we get to talking? Everything. I leave. I said, I ain't getting that movie.
But instead of being bitter, TK became friends with Eddie. He watched his rise with admiration and frustration, knowing he had the talent, but not the machine. Then came another near miss, Trading Places.
They say Eddie Murphy's next film will be Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd. Here I go again. I'm doing Dr. Detroit with Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd was working with TK on Dr. Detroit in 1983. Eddie might not do Trading Places, Aykroyd told him. If he doesn't, I want you to meet John Landis.
Eddie, don't do it. I want you to meet John Landis, and I think me and you'll get down.
But that SNL machine kicked in. Eddie did Trading Places. TK watched from the sidelines again.
Chevy Chase tried to get TK on Saturday Night Live after Eddie left. TK said no.
Chevy tried to get me after Seems Like Old Times to do Saturday Night Live because Eddie was leaving. And I said, man, no, man, I ain't trying to. I should have went up there and did that Garrett Moore shit.
Why turn down SNL? TK felt he was moving too fast. He wanted film and stand-up, not sketch comedy.
Robin Towns before all them cats hit. And I asked myself, I said, why did I have to go first? I always felt I was moving too fast.
Looking back, he admits it might have been a mistake, but TK had his own path. In 1984, that path led to Punky Brewster.
Who wants to go first?
The kids on set were wild, but professional.
people don't really understand. Them kids on Punky Brewster, they were bad. They were talented, but they were bad.
TK became Uncle TK, keeping candy in his pockets to keep them entertained. Decades later, they still call him family. Throughout the 80s and 90s, TK racked up credits. The Jeffersons, the Waltons, Welcome Back Kotter, he'd run from set to set, always working. Then came 1996, Space Jam.
What's he, man? What's the man?
We're the Monstars. M-O-N...
Let's see what you got.
Director Joe Pitcock called TK directly. Get to Warner Brothers now. I think there's a role for you.
Hey, listen, get up to Warner Brothers right now. I said, what? He says, man, I'm getting ready to direct a picture called Space Jam. I said, what? He says, I'm getting ready to direct a picture. And come on, man, I think there's a good role in here for you.
The table read was packed with NBA legends. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson. But here's what nobody knows. After the table read, Michael Jordan pulled TK aside. Can you be my acting coach through this movie? TK was stunned. Michael, I'm an actor, not a coach. Jordan insisted. I'll pay you. I need your help. So TK Carter became Michael Jordan's secret acting coach on Space Jam.
He said, can you be? I said, Michael, I'm an actor. He said, man, I'll pay you as an actor. Man, look here. Look, I was Michael Jordan's acting coach for the first Space Jam.
He worked with MJ page by page, scene by scene. By the end, Jordan didn't need him anymore. And Jordan made it clear to everyone, if you need anything, talk to TK Carter, don't mess with me. Basketball players came to TK for autographs, favors, connections. He became the unofficial set liaison. But Space Jam wasn't TK's only secret coaching gig. In 1998, Chris Tucker was cast in Rush Hour. The studio needed someone to help him punch up lines and nail comedic timing.
Before that, I was Chris Tucker's acting coach for Rush Hour 1 and 2. I remember the credit. So so I helped him, and I'm not going to take credit because he's so talented.
They called TK Carter. TK worked with Chris Tucker, helping craft that motor mouth character. When Rush Hour 2 came around, they brought TK back. So let's be clear. TK Carter coached both Michael Jordan in Space Jam and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour, two of the biggest films of the 90s, and TK was behind the scenes making magic happen. But Hollywood forgets people. In 1996, TK landed a role on The Sinbad Show as Sinbad's best friend.
And look, I knew you were taking a class, but I didn't know this was a home study course.
Perfect fit. Great chemistry. Then the politics started. An executive producer told TK they might recast his role. TK didn't flinch. I'm pay and play. You want me gone? Write the check. What they didn't know, TK's brother was a litigation attorney for Disney. Jeffrey Katzenberg personally intervened. Katzenberg showed up on set. TK Carter goes nowhere. We need TK on this show.
And I told my manager, you need to call Disney and say, man, it's rumors that they're trying to get rid of me. You know what he said? He said, no, TK Carter goes nowhere. We need TK on this show.
The room went silent. TK looked around. Now get me a donut. He stayed, but the damage was done. TK realized Hollywood didn't care about loyalty. It cared about leverage. Which brings us to 2000 and the role that changed everything, The Corner.
I gotta get a job. Real job.
HBO was developing a miniseries about families struggling with addiction in Baltimore. TK heard about the lead role, Gary McCullough, a heroin addict. He knew that role was his.
I said, man, this role is me. They still wouldn't give me. This lady, I never forget it. I ain't gonna mention names. She wouldn't give me the role.
But the casting director didn't see it. They brought TK in as a reader to feed lines to other actors. Don Cheadle auditioned. Big names came through. TK sat there humiliated. Finally, HBO president Chris Albrecht intervened. Get TK Carter in here. Let him actually audition.
Chris Albrecht, who remember me back from the comedy days, he's the president of HBO.
They set up one final audition, TK versus Glenn Plummer. Whoever killed it got the role. TK performed an intense 3-page monologue. When he finished, you could hear a pin drop. The woman reading with him was crying. He walked out, went to Maui, and forgot about it. 2 days later, you got the lead. The Corner became one of the most critically acclaimed miniseries in TV history. Denzel Washington, Lawrence Fishburne, Samuel L. Jackson, legends told TK how powerful his work was. He finally proved he wasn't just the funny guy. He was a serious actor who could carry a project. But even after The Corner, consistent leading roles didn't come. TK kept working. Everybody Hates Chris. Chris Rock personally requested him.
Julius, you funny, man. No, you funnier.
No, you funny.
No, you really funny. And you lucky.
Family Matters.
Excuse me, but in Edward's defense, Mr. Winslow, it's my fault that he violated his curfew.
Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, opposite Viola Davis and Cicely Tyson.
He played Bobby Brown's father in the BET biopic. TK had known Bobby since the 80s.
How was your flight?
It was strange.
Yeah. See, you left yourself open there right there. Hey, come on now. Don't be. Hey, I taught you what.
A young director tried explaining Bobby's life to TK. He stopped him. Call Bobby right now and ask who should play his father. They called Bobby. Bobby said TK Carter.
Throughout his career, TK opened for music legends. James Brown, Luther Vandross. He was close with the Jackson family, visiting Neverland Ranch regularly. Michael Jackson would give TK envelopes full of cash, hundreds of dollars. Don't open it yet, Michael would say. If you opened it early, you had to give it back. But despite all these connections, TK never broke through to Eddie Murphy level fame. Success scared me, he admitted. I was on the freeway doing 100 miles per hour, and I wanted to get off and take a break, but I couldn't.
And I got to the point to where the success scared me.
TK was chasing fame instead of craft, going to parties and premieres instead of honing his skills. Every party you go to, that's a script you're not writing, director Robert Townsend told him. Today, TK Carter is 67 years old. He's married to his wife of 14 years. He's writing pilots, developing projects, and co-owns a new social media platform called Click.social, designed to give users control
and actually pay them for engagement. His net worth is estimated at around $1.5 million. He has one son, he's still mentoring young talent, still being Uncle TK.
But here's the final secret. TK Carter was the first black actor in a horror film not to die during the opening credits, The Thing, in 1982. He also worked on that film with an annoying intern who kept knocking on his door. That intern, he's now an executive producer on Black Panther. TK Carter's story isn't about missed opportunities. It's about staying true to yourself in an industry that wanted you to be someone else. He coached legends, starred in classics, and built a career on his own terms.